Jinsi ambavyo unaona wapambe wa speaker kwa maana ya sergeant at arms wanapangwa, wanapatiwa maelekezo yote kwa ishara na vile vile jinsi ambavyo shughuli zote hutekelezwa kwa utaratibu, asije akakosea mtu yeyote. Ndio maana unaona wanapatiwa maelekezo hayo ya moja kwa moja kuandaliwa tunapojipanga na kujiandaa speaker kuwasili muda wote kuanzia sasa. Naelekezwa kupitia maelekezo ya moja kwa moja kwenye masikio yangu ni kwamba amekwisha karibia kabisa, na muda wote kuanzia sasa atakuwa akiwasili katika gwaride na jukwaa hili, wakati ambapo vikao vinatarajiwa kuanza muda wote kuanzia sasa. Ikumbuka kwamba vikao vya bunge vinaanza saa 8 majira ya Afrika Mashariki, ina maana ni saa 8 na dakika 30 tunapozungumza dakika 27 baada ya saa 8. Kwa hivyo dakika 3 zijazo bunge litakuwa linang'oa nanga rasmi. Kuna uapishaji wa spika ambao utakuwa unaanza sasa. Tutakuwa tunampata spika mpya kabisa mara ya kwanza katika ulimwengu wa historia. Bunge la Kenya linapata sura kamili, taswira kamili, sura mpya itakayokuwa ikiliendesha kwa takriban miaka 5. Waheshimiwa wamekwisha kuketi, hawa wamechaguliwa kutoka katika mirengo yote miwili. Wanapata fursa ya kumwapisha spika mpya kabisa. Kwa hiyo maandalizi hayo ni ishara kwamba kila kitu kipo tisti. Nikiangalia saa yangu mkononi, zimesalia dakika 1 kutimu saa 8:30 majira ya Afrika Mashariki. Picha za moja kwa moja zinaletwa kwako na wanasa sauti na wapiga picha wa PBU. Kumbuka hii ni 2025 Mombasa International Show. Inafanyika mara moja kwa mwaka hafla kama hii. Kwa hivyo dakika 1 na sote tutasimama mahali popote ambapo upo na umeketi, utasimama wakati ambapo spika atakuwa akiingia tayari kuapishwa. Bunge linapata sura mpya kabisa, mtizamo mpya kabisa, taswira tofauti kidogo leo hii. Haya, bila shaka muda uliokuwa ukisubiriwa hatimaye umewadia. Ina maana kwamba waheshimiwa ambao wameketi katika viti hivi vya rangi ya damu kwa maana ya red,
Na tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, twakusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako, ambao umeridhika kutuita ili tutelekeze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri hii yetu. Twakuomba ututeremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawishi amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi hii yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amina. Administration number 1. Order number 1, administration of oath. Members, we are here to administer the oath of the Speaker. Sergeant, call out the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you may administer your oath.
I, Edward Karisa Kisau, have been elected the Speaker of the National Assembly to solemnly affirm that I will bear truth, fair, and allegiance to the people and to the public of Kenya, that I will obey, respect, uphold, preserve, protect, and defend this Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, and that I will be faithfully and conscientiously discharge the duty of a member of parliament. So God help me.
Mr. Speaker.
Clerk, you may call out the next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I have two obligations to pay. Two communications to say. Honorable members, I wish to report to the House that I have received an invitation by the government of Kenya of Mombasa County, His Excellency Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasi, to the 2025 Mombasa International Show that will be held from the 3rd to the 7th September 2025. Honorable members, as you are aware, the international show is an annual event that has been held across different regions, organized by the Agricultural Show of Kenya, ASK. The ASK shows reserve as platform for farmers, agribusiness, research, and policy makers to exhibit technologies, promote smart agriculture, and share knowledge. In this regard, Honorable members, the governor has extended his invitation to all members in both houses parliament to the show. The invitation have been The invitation by the governor is a furtherance of the parliament's strategic pillar 3 in enhancing public trust and parliamentary outreach. Honorable members, His Excellency, the President is expected to officially open this event on 4th September 2025. I therefore urge the members to attend the noble event. I thank you. Next, honorable members, I wish to acknowledge the presence of delegation of 7 staff from the Information Communication Technology Authority, ICT Authority, sitting in the speaker's gallery to observe the House proceedings. Honorable members, the delegation is on the benchmarking visit to share out experience in best policies, operations of the ICT processes within the National Assembly. Honorable members, on my own behalf, that of the National Assembly, I welcome the delegation to the National Assembly, them and wishing them during their visit. I thank you. Majority Leader, you may welcome the members.
Good afternoon, Honorable House. On the behalf of the Speaker and the members at large, I welcome the authorities. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Honorable members, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 41-4, regarding its consideration of the Nuts and Oil Crop Development Bill, Senate number 47 of 2023. Honorable members, the message conveyed that on Tuesday, 2nd September 2025, the Senate considered and passed the Nut and Oil Crops Development Bill, Senate Bill number 47 of 2023. With amendments, the said bill seeks establish the Nut and Oil Crop Development Board with the aim of saving the nut and oil crop industry by revamping the policy and institutional framework within the industry operates. In this regard, I will note that standing order requires the Speaker to cause a bill received from the Senate to be read a first time upon conveyance of its message to the House. In view of this, I direct clerk to schedule the bill in the order paper for first reading tomorrow. Thereafter, the bill will stand committed to the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock for consideration. The House is accordingly guided. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Article 119 of the Constitution gives the right to any person to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority. Further, standing on Order 225 2B requires the Speaker to report to the House any petition other than those presented by a member. In that regard, honorable members, I wish to report to the House that my office has received a petition to the residents of Owino Uhuru regarding the effects of land poisoning on Owino Uhuru residents in Jovi constituency, Mombasa County. The petitioner states that Owino Uhuru village, a low-income human settlement hosting a community of 8,000 residents on the outskirts of an island of Mombasa City, Mikindani Ward, Jomvu constituency, Mombasa County, have gravely affected by the poisonous lead emission for entry corruptly and irregularly licenses to establish a lead smelting plant in the human settlement area. Honorable members, the petitioners are concerned about the poisonous emission from the plant, which has contaminated the soil, drinking water, and the air of Owino Uhuru village. In addition, the children's playground are also listed with toxic dust. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
The petition states that efforts to get next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, the Horticultural Crops Authority Bill.
Next order.
Order number 9, the Agriculture and Livestock Extension Services Bill, in brackets, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022.
Next order.
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
Next order.
Order number 11, motion, benefits of climate smart agriculture. That climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for the youth in Kenya.
Honorable members, we are now wish to debate this motion that climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for the youth in Kenya. I now propose the question that climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for the youth in Kenya. And welcome members. Debate continues on the motion. I call upon the proposer of the motion to stand and propose the motion.
Good afternoon. I'm Zura Hamisi from representing Mtongwe Girls. I'm glad to be given this opportunity to propose the motion that says climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for youths in Kenya. There are seasons for planting, harvesting, packaging, and delivering. It creates seasonal will be needed in help in their farms. Seasonal employment in farms, whereby this will help them not to say idle season and it will for everything. There are seasons for planting, harvesting, packaging, and delivering. So youths as we will know, be needed to help youths in their farms. A high percentage this will help them youths not to say and job opportunities idle. Are few. So this will help them in their lives. Thank you. As we know, youths.
Thank you, very members. Member, I would like to welcome the opposing side.
Are youths and job opportunities are few. So this will help them in their lives. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, ladies and gentlemen
Thank you,
of
very
the House,
members. Member,
good afternoon.
I would like to welcome the opposing side.
I'm here to firmly reject the motion that states climate smart agriculture creates more
Honorable
jobs
Speaker,
for the youth.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let me take
of
you
the
back
House,
to history.
Good afternoon.
When our fathers fought for independence, they chased
I'm here
away colonial masters with
firmly
guns and flags.
Reject the motion
They chased
that
away
states climate
these
smart
masters
agriculture
whom
creates
want to
more
bring
jobs
back.
for the youth.
Sadly, the
Let me
case
take you
today
back to history
is not only that
when
we
our
want to bring them
fathers
back,
fought for
but the
independence.
masters are already
They
back.
chased away colonial masters with
Not
guns
in the
and
same
flags.
khaki shorts.
They chased away these masters whom we want to bring back. Sadly, the case today is not only that we want to bring them back, but the masters are already back. Not in the same khaki shorts and helmets, but in suits, handshakes, and bank accounts. This is not partnership, it is dependency. Not cooperation either, but domination. This is the Berlin Conference all over again. The blood of our fathers who fought nail and tooth is down the drain. 62 years later, we are welcoming in courts international bureaucrats to give them another opportunity to dictate our life and our future again. This is the 2025 scramble and partition of Africa. Let us talk about climate smart agriculture. The magic potion for creating youth jobs, apparently, sure, It sounds nice on paper, but if you think it is going to magically solve youth unemployment while also saving the environment, maybe, just maybe, it is time to stop mixing up your fantasy novels with real world solution. Spoiler alert, it is not that simple. We are going to risk drowning in the same waters we hope to swim in. Confidently, I am going to urge the House at large to firmly reject the motion climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for youth. I rest my opening.
And okay, honorable members, there is a time limit of 3 minutes for each person to speak. I now propose the motion open for debates by the honorable members. So we start with the proposers from Mtongwe Secondary School. We have Honorable Mishimboko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to propose my motion that says climate smart agriculture promotes more jobs for youth in Kenya. This is simply because they are promoting more jobs for youth in Kenya in such a way that they are training the youth and building skills in the youth. This is why the government in Kenya nowadays, they are being engaged in what the youth are busy doing. As you all know, in our currency situation, we have a lot of youth. And these many youth who are roaming around out there, they simply have nothing to do. And this is why the government has been getting. Okay. And this is why that the government have decided to get itself involved in the climate smart agriculture. And first of all, as you all know, you need to understand the term smart. If you understand that word, you'll get a better opportunity to understand why the government is getting itself involved in climate smart agriculture. In training and building skills, the governments have been providing mentorship and internship for the youth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We may have the seconder from Mtongwe. So you can raise your hand for the opposers. Yes, welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That is above Mwamba. Introduce yourself.
I Harub Khalid, represent Hamis High School. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I represent Vita constitutions. Mashele. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to oppose the motion that says climate smart agriculture may create jobs for the youth in Kenya. CSA focuses on climate adaptation, often requires external interventions, such as subsidized inputs, NGO supports, or government's funding. This reliance could cultivate dependency among the youth, leading them to rely on outside assistance rather than developing their own subsistential agriculture enterprise. The long-term goal should be for you to be self-sufficient, but instead, they might only learn to adjust to systems that depend heavily on external aid. This makes the youth of Kenya think they can always be dependent on the government. Do we really want that? No. For example, youth in Kikuti who depend on government subsidized drought-resistant seed may struggle if subsidies are cut, leaving them unprepared to manage without an external help, creating a cycle of dependency. CSA is also heavily rural focused, often excluding urban youth who may be involved in agricultural related business in cities. By limiting CSS initiatives to rural areas, it fails to tap into the agricultural tech sector or growing the urban agriculture movement, which could offer youth in cities like Nairobi or Mombasa opportunities to initiate within agriculture through techs or agribusiness ventures. This means that those people, since CSA is meant for the rural area, this leaves the youth who may be in the urban area wanting to participate in the agri-techs. Okay? Since this may make the urban youths feel excluded, like they're not important, even if they migrate to the rural areas, they may live their work's life. They don't know. They don't know if they'll succeed. They may turn out to be poor. Okay. CSS primary focus on long-term goals like sustainability and climate resilience might not meet the urgent financial needs of youth in Kenya. The benefits of CSA practices like soil regeneration or water conversions take time to manifest. Youths, especially those with immediate financial obligation, may feel frustrated by the delayed return, which can discourage them for pursuing agricultural careers. CSA innovations takes time. You can't just earn profit. You start working today, tomorrow you're already making money. Okay? You need to have time, maybe in a year or so, but many of the youths these days, they need money urgently. Thank you.
On my screen, I can see Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Please take the stage.
I think all of you know that when you sit down and when you sit down to eat, when you get full, satisfied, you always thank a farmer. Don't always thank your mom. Thank your mom when the food is on the table, thank your mom. But when you're full, thank the farmer. And that is why I'm saying that global climate change is not a 1 minute thing conversation. And all of you will agree with me that and all of you will agree with me that young youth who are young youth who are being young youth who are being young youths who are employed in such in events such as agricultural shows, they are being paid. They can't work like that and get out of it without being paid. Now to my point is that my dear opposer said that when we got independent, there were colonies. But let me tell you, the reason why we got independent is for us to be independent by ourselves. We can independ on the government, but not other countries. That is why we got our own independence, for us to independ for ourselves. And that is why CSA, climate smart agriculture, bring up education to young people who doesn't know what CSA means. And CSA means climate smart agricultural change, which creates job opportunity for the youth. Even if you are in the urban centers, I know very well that CSA are located at the rural areas, but education from the CSA education from the CSA help people, young youths in the urban areas, to be aware of what climate smart change is, to be aware of climate smart agricultural is. And that is why I'm telling you that. And that is why I'm telling you that many youths cannot be complaining of not getting job, yet they are CSA, which provide jobs for them. And you can take a good example of northern part of Kenya. In 1960, ever since 1969, people, 70% have been depending on livestock, which is being improved by the CSA. Now you cannot tell me that young youths are not getting job. They get job from these livestock. People can sell their livestock. People get income from those livestock. Thank you.
On my dashboard, I can see Honorable Shakil from Kisumu East. You may stand, take the stage.
Honorable Speaker, my beautiful farmers, the proposers. We rise here to talk about the climate smart agriculture, but this is a mirage. In a short term, for pronunciation, is a mirage. Uh, I can bring out a story, but stop about that. Let me go straight to my point. But let me revert to you. You have talked about the show. You are saying about the show. So the show that is held once a year create job opportunity for for the youths. It's just a day, not even a week, not even a month. So what about after the show? Will the youth will have the job opportunities? So, Mr. Speaker, let me go to my first point. Climate smart agriculture overemphasis on technology solution could alert less privileged youth. CSA involves advanced technology such as drip irrigation, drones, and precision farm tools, which may be inaccessible for the youths. Are you sure, my worthy proposition, are you sure that all the youths are able to access the drones? Let's take an example. Let's take an example. The youth from the eastern of this country, where there is poor infrastructures, are they able to drive tractors from Nairobi to the eastern? So I want you to answer me that question. To my next point, youth focus on agriculture diversion could be certified by the CSA in full. Mr. Speaker, it is climate smart agriculture. I'm using the short time possible. Narrow focus on a specific crops. CS may narrow you to focus on maize, beans. What about other crops? These maize and beans depend on the climate changes. And the climate of this our country, it is not reliable. You can predict that in the month of March there will be rain. What if that changes? Will we rely on that crops? To my last point, CSA emphasis on a global-based practice might dismiss local indigenous knowledge. CSA is introducing intelligence, introducing the use of like, well, let me take an example, GMO. Let me take another example, simple one. All of us use for example, let me take a simple example. Chickens are being taken for 6 months. But introducing climate smart agriculture, the chicken are hatched for 2 weeks. That is leading to cancer. And then this is destroying the knowledge of our traditional farming. So I firmly oppose the motion that is climate smart agriculture
please.
create more jobs opportunity to the youths.
Okay, I would like to welcome Honorable Nusra Mtongwe.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to propose the motion that say climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for the youth. On to my points, entrepreneurship opportunities, whereby the youth, they can start their small-scale farming, whereby they can join the climate smart agriculture to connect their sale and produce it locally. And back to Honorable Machele, he has said that it's the climate smart agriculture, it only take place in rural areas. But I totally disagree with that, because nowadays we have mushroom planting. Mushroom planting, it can also take place in urban areas because it requires a room and not a field to plant mushroom. And it does not require soil. It's only the sod ash to plant the mushroom. And back to the last opposer who said that the people from the youth, they can't drive the tractors. Nowadays we have apprenticeship whereby the youth, they just earn little and they gain the new skill, whereby they can gain the skills to drive the tractors, and thereby they can get the chance to be employed. Thank you.
Yes, honorable members, we may have and point to note, a speaker speaks only once. Yes. Next, we have Mohammed Ali Nyali from Nyali constituency.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for granting me this opportunity to articulate my point rather than speech. I'm here in front of you opposing the motion that says climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for youth. On to my first point. CSA may not align with Kenya's growing demand for urban agriculture and food security. Like my fellow colleagues said, you will only be doing it in rural, and you said that you can also do it in urban. Okay, so urban centers are limited. They have limited space. You said you can work in a room. How many youths will work in that room? Okay. As cities grow, urban farming has become essential for addressing food insecurity and providing livelihoods for youth. However, CSA tends to focus on rural farming, which may overlook the unique challenges faced by urban youth in agriculture projects, such as limited space, poor soil quality, and water scarcity. So if people move to urban center, there will be an overpopulation. A lot of water will be used, a lot of space will be used. There will be limited space to work for the agricultural staffs. Example, a youth-led urban farming initiative in Nairobi might struggle to implement CSA practices because these methods are often designed for rural environments, leading to missed opportunities for urban agriculture innovation and food security initiatives. On to my second point, the overemphasis on climate change could overlook other factors affecting youth in agriculture. CSA focus primarily on climate resilience, but youth in Kenya face other critical issues such as land tenure, market access, capital, and education. Not all youths have access to education. Not all youths have access to capital to start their farm. Example, a young farmer in Bomet might be eager to implement CSA strategies, but without land ownership or access to storage facilities for crops, their efforts might be undermined and they may struggle to make a living. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, just hold. Honorable Jerry, MP, Kiriang, Kijuetang.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to propose the motion that says CSA creates more job opportunity to the youth in Kenya. Yes, it does. Like the CSA needs some youth to deliver their weekly boxes. So they'll take the youth, help them in packing and delivering boxes to members. In this case, the youth can be used as drivers, packers, and route planners. You cannot take an old guy teaching him how to ride, let's say, a tractor, yeah, or even a lorry for a long distance. Sure, he can't do such a thing. So you all need the youth to do such things. Thank you.
We may have Honorable Muli from the opposing side.
Honorable Chair, members of the House, good afternoon. I stand here today to firmly oppose the motion which states that climate smart agriculture creates jobs opportunity for the youth. But my fellow MP, as you said, you think that our old ways is not good, and you as promotes other people to come and help. I have a question. CSA, as you said, smart, but that smartness can lead to laziness. So if I was to take some people to the land right now, what will happen? They don't know anything. They don't have the skill needed. Culture. Farming moves in culture. Okay, they can be taught, but people, most of people around Kenya, all over the world, most of them move by experience. On to my first point. CS, as I said, needs skills. And these skills are needed to equip farmers because we are in the coastal region, the availability of salt water. Now, if I was to take someone right now, let's go take salt water and transfer it to fresh water. Is it possible? He doesn't have the skills, the know-how, nothing. He does not know how to apply these techniques. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here. You should be coming to us, not trying to support laziness. Ladies and gentlemen, on to my last point. CSA, right now, if we take one land only, about 10 hectares, how many people does it require? Let's say over 100, over 50. They get jobs opportunity. But now CSA, as you claim, it promotes laziness. Now it promotes individualism. Where's the fun in that? We move in culture together, and as we move forward, we want to move forward as a country. If you say, I'll do it on my own, you won't get any benefit. You want to teach people. Thank you very much.
Honorable Bazimba from Mtongo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. to propose on the motion that says climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for the youth in Kenya. On to my points, marketing and communication. The climate smart agriculture need help with outreach, especially on social media, community events, and emails, and the youths engaging on that climate smart agriculture, they can be social media managers, photographers, and content creators. Thank you.
So we have Honorable Rashid Bazimba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. My names are My names are Rashid Bazimba from Kisaone constituency, and I'm hereby ready to oppose the motion that says climate smart agriculture creates more job for the youth in Kenya. First of all, I'd like to rebut what just my fellow MP has said. She said that social media can also help in agriculture. So, for example, there is a guy, or maybe there is a youth in rural area, and he doesn't even have an access of internet or social media. How is he going to get the education? Okay, on to my point now. My first point is going to be CSA requires significant capital and training. Okay, on CSA now, it requires significant capital and training. And onto our youths in nowadays, many of them do not have the capital because CSA wants a lot of capital, or it requires heavy inputs. For example, it requires like solar powered irrigation systems, advanced seeds, and training climate, which mostly youths can't afford. We have been talking about I heard an MP saying that we can also practice the agriculture in the town. So, for example, if you are going to train those who are in urban, what about those who are in the rural? So, to me, I firmly oppose that motion because many of our youths can't afford that money. Because, let's say, for example, a youth in rural, for him to practice that CSA, he needs to have those inputs which are very much expensive, on which they can't even afford. Okay, according to IFAD, in full, it is International Fund for Agricultural Development, said that it shows that 70% of rural youth in sub-Saharan Africa lacks access to credit and land, making it hard to benefit from CSF. So what do we get to understand from this? We're going to get that many of our youth not have an access to get those heavy machines on which the CS requires in order to run. Okay. And it also says that many CSA practices are introduced through donor-funded projects. Once the funding ends, youth are left without the resources to sustain them, making job unstable. So maybe, for example, say that maybe they can receive NGOs from the government. Okay, they can receive, but we have a very large population of youths. Let's say the government can even afford to support them. So if they're going to support them, are they going to support them till the time the agricultural products are going to be harvested? That is no, because you have a very large number of youths in our country. So the government can't even afford to fund them all to do the agriculture. On to my next point, Mr. Speaker, says that CSA may replace traditional jobs through mechanization and automation. Okay, on mechanization and automation, it really encourages laziness. For example, we are talking about job creation for the youth. So now if you're going to bring the mechanics or the automations, they are going to replace the youth's job because you want to employ them. And on the other side, you are bringing the machine. So how are they going to work? if there is a machine. So on this CSA, it really goes on a motion that says, CSA includes precision agriculture, automation, and efficient inputs, which it can reduce need for labor potential, leading to job loss in convenient farming method. On my research, which I did on International Labor Organization, warned that attention agriculture, especially through climate smart technology, it could displace jobs rather than creating new ones, especially for unskilled rural youth. And it goes on and saying that CSAs emphasize on efficiency often, which means doing more with less. On machines, on the automation, they're doing very much things on less, which
Timer. Timer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
We have Ben Soda, Homa Bay. To the proposing side.
Good afternoon. My name is Bensoda. I'm here to propose the motion that says CSA creates more jobs for youth in Kenya. Yes, simply because this CSA program had give the youth jobs because they will need youth to preserve the food and packing the jams, production like tea, sauce. The youth can be used as a productive assistance quality, control investor and brand. And that makes me to oppose what my fellow members had said. He had said that taking the people to the ground and work, they will not be easy for them simply because they have machine. Yes, we have machine because the technology has given us the machine so that we can manage time. By managing the time, we can also develop our country well. If we laying for the people, the work will be so long for them. And thus, we take machine for helping us to continue developing our country. They say bring people to the work, it might not be easy because of machine. If we are trying to take them there, if they are able, they will not do it. They are saying that we ban the machine so that they will work for their own. It's easy to say but hard to do. If I'm going to take them there at the farm and there's machine, they're relying on machine and not themselves. So machine are key for us to manage time so that we can develop our countries well. Thank you.
On my next, we have Honorable Babu Owino in Bakassi East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to oppose in the motion that says climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for the youth. First of all, before I go on my first point, let me rebut the point that you talked about the communication and the social media. And before the proposition brags about CSA being youth friendly because it uses technical, please. Liking TikTok filters doesn't mean you can run a farm, yes? If anything, half the youth will rather film the cows than milk them. On to my first point. CSA over reliance on external farming could undermine youth from becoming independent entrepreneurs. On my first point, CSA over reliance on external funding could undermine youth from becoming independent entrepreneurs. Many CSA projects are heavily dependent on external funding from international donors or government subsidies. This reliance could undermine the entrepreneurial mindset of the youth, as they may expect external funding to support their ventures, rather than developing strategy to fund their business independently. You can give an example. A youth farming initiative in Eldoret might rely on NGO grant to implement CSA practices, but without learning how to manage finances, they may struggle to sustain their operation long term. On my second point, CSA commercial focus could undermine youth's interest in sustainable livelihood. The commercial focus of CSA may detract from the social and cultural importance of farming for youth. I can give an example of youth in TC may view farming as a long-term livelihood, but CSA may turn it into a competitive business model, detracting from farming role in community welfare and cultural heritage. Thank you.
There being no more members. There being no more members to contribute, I now call upon the movers to reply. Honorable Naomi Wako.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank the speaker for giving me this opportunity to propose the motion that says, climate smart agriculture creates jobs for youth in Kenya. First, I would like to answer the question was being asked by the third opposers. He has said that the show is only one day. So how can it create job opportunity for the youth? Yes, it can, because it can create job for the youth because it's 7 days, not one day. And in that 7 days, who are working here, the high percent who is working here are the youth and not the old ones. So in this case, the youth cannot just stay idle. They can come here and get some money. Speaker, on to my point. We have environmental and social impact work. Youth who are passionate about climate, food justice, or sustainability can engage in advocacy and awareness work through CSA platforms. They can become sustainability coordinators or food justice advocates. Thank you.
Now we may have the mover to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to reply to the question for my dearest handsome opposers. Now, to the first opposer, you asked a question that says, there is no development in Kenya, and they are using more machines than the youth. Now, let me tell you this. To Rashid Benzai, I don't know if it's Benzimba or Benzai. Now, this is the answer. Nowadays in Kenya is a developing country. And because Kenya is a developing country, that means they will need the machine. Even if they will need the machine, those machines cannot operate by themselves
Let me give you a very clear example. Let's use that camera. Let's use the camera. Who is operating that camera? So you see there's a person behind it who is operating it. It cannot work by itself. That means, and the person who is operating that camera is a youth. You did say that. And also there's other opposers who said that there are no social media. And what happens to the person who is in urban area, in rural area, and he doesn't have education? It seems that you are not a keen listener while I was talking my first point. I said that the government is providing training and building skills to the youth. Since it's providing skills and building to the youth, this is why the government have been educating the youth how to get themselves engaged in the CSA farm. In social media, sorry. And also another thing, you talked about TikTok, I don't know if it's Instagram or what, or whatever. Let me tell you this, my dear. You see? Let me tell you this. First of all, let me tell you something. Nowadays, the most trending thing is that people are being engaged in TikTok. Even an elder person, you will find him in TikTok. What is he looking in TikTok? He's looking for good products. And those good products, they need youth to market those products. I won't be going for a good that it has been advertised by an old person. I want you to give me the clear instruction on how to use that product. And the most thing is that the youth are jobless. We have to look on what to do to the youth. Since they are jobless, we have to do on what we are going to do to them so that they can stop being engaged in drugs. If you said that there's someone who was urging us to come into your side. No, we are not going to do that. This is simply because we'll be forcing the youth to keep engaging in bad groups and engage in drugs. And that is why the government has been getting itself involving in CSA farming agriculture, and it is providing jobs for the youth. Okay, other question was that how is CSA going to get education if he is living in urban? I think I've already answered that question. I haven't. I'll answer you again. Let me tell you this. There in every sub-county or county, there is an office of farming. And in that office, if you are in an interest of knowing something, you will be the one following the government to train you or to tell you. And the government will not follow you wherever you are to tell you, do this and this, do this and this. No, you will be the one seeking for that thing. And I'm telling you, my dear. So if you want to get benefited from CSA, you are the one who should be looking for the assistance. And the government is capable of assisting the youth in getting them in self-engaged in CSA agriculture. Thank you.
Yes, I now welcome Honorable Babu Wino to reply for the movers point.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to reply to the proposers. So, a simple question. Do we establish the CSS to create jobs for machines? Or are we creating jobs for the youths? It might sound rhetoric, I know. So, I like to say that, talking of the machines, for more productivity, CSS nowadays is characterized by non-human labor. Machines have been introduced and employers go for machines, making them a second choice to none. So an example has been seen from the Kericho tea planting. Machines sow, machines harvests. And this brings into attention that the topic matter is so ironical in that machines preferentially win more jobs in agricultural-based plants. When I talk of agricultural-based plants, I know Mheshimiwa Mishimbogo will not fathom this. So when I talk of agricultural-based plants, our soon losing opponents, don't be hypocrites. Not wielding the fact that even in the small scales we have here, find machines more suitable than the lazy ones you call youths. Okay. Okay, let me say this. The CS says there is a failure to address the root of unemployment. While CSA may provide some short-term opportunities, of which we are not sure of, it does not address these broader systemic issues, making it does not effectively tackle youth unemployment at its core. A quick question to our soon losing opponents. How many youths are out here unemployed? And how many agricultural-based plans should the government of the state establish for at least a third of the unemployed youths to have fully tackled the problem of unemployment? Those ones you are calling youth, you want to provide jobs, they are now saying kumi na nne supu. You think those ones, they are saying ujana ni moshi. You think those ones can manage? It is a big problem. It is. I think the CSA will just corrupt the culture of education. That could, the education that could otherwise have betterly tackled the problem of unemployment, because there is no important certificate needed to involve in agriculture. So this one will have undermined the Vision 2030 to evict illiteracy. In fact, it is the one bringing illiteracy, Mr. Speaker. So I think we should the bell should be rung for our losing opponents to wake up. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, having concluded the debate, the motion, I wish to now put the question that climate smart agriculture creates more jobs for the youth in Kenya. Will as many as are of the option say will as many as are of that option say aye. Say aye. As many as are that are of a contrary opinion say hey. Nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, there being no other business to transact, and the time begins. The time being 3:41 p.m. The House stands adjourned until Thursday, 14th September 2025 at 2 6:30 p.m. Thank you.
And all the evidence particularized of impropriety against the governor chose not to take the witness stand and answer to any of those charges. The question is this: when a charge is leveled and the evidence, the quantity and weight of which has been played before you by way of witness testimonies, documentary evidence, and video evidence, and the person called to account refuses to take the opportunity given to him to account, what inference will you draw from that? When you begin deliberating, I invite you to consider that aspect of this case. Having said that, there are certain matters that arose in the course of clarification by senators that I wish to address myself to as part of these closing submissions. We stand here as lawyers, Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished senators, as people who have to offer guidance on the harmony or otherwise between the evidence on record and the law established. The conclusions to be drawn from that evidence on record and the law established are purely yours as judges, and as participants in the justice process, we have no choice but to accept your verdict unless one pursues any other option known to law. So two questions arose, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished Senator Onyonka presented to the expert witness a question in the form of that both the passwords and the usernames to this system were made accessible to all MCS. Mr. Speaker, sir, let the Hansard record me as saying that there is no such claim made by any witness before this assembly. The witness before this, the evidence before this Senate has been and remains this. 2 links were sent to MCS. Link number 1 communicated IPPD numbers which were to be used as the...
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunaketi kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako. Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye
Tonight, the show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development on our political front. Well, a lot is taking place so fast. Therefore, everybody must work hard to stay on the cutting edge as far as making sense of our politics is concerned, and of course, remaining on top of all matters. Tonight, this is Sound Candy Talk Live. 72 people have cast their vote already, and only 42 have liked the video. Justified. So from the look of things, the majority of Kenyans think the government need to up their. Glad to report we are back on the main channel as well, and therefore we are asking everybody to join from wherever you are. Sound Candy Talk live YouTube channel, and we are also live on X as well as extended to Facebook.
Pharisees couldn't stand him, but they found out they couldn't stop him. Pilate couldn't find any fault in him. Herod couldn't kill him. Death couldn't handle him, and the grave couldn't hold him. Yeah!